Hi guys, so I have another book haul slash in my mailbox for you today. Haven't done one for quite a while actually. I think the last haul I uploaded was my after Christmas haul. Just haven't got round to filming one, and the books have been piling up and piling up, so I've probably missed some that I really wanted to show you. I think I have about 20 books to show you now. Some of these books I've received for review, some of these books I bought myself, so let's just get on with it. I'll start with the books that I've been very kindly sent for review, and the first one is one that I've already read and you will already have seen in my January wrap-up video, and that's Cress by Marissa Meyer. This was very kindly sent to me from Penguin, and this is the third book in the Lunar Chronicles. You guys know that I absolutely loved this. Who hasn't loved this? It was absolutely phenomenal, so thank you very much, Penguin, for that. And then Marissa Meyer actually very kindly sent me last year she sent me 2 book plates for my copies of Cinder and Scarlet, because I took part in the blog tour, and she did the same for me this year. She sent me 2 book plates, so one will go in my copy of Cress and one I'll be saving for my copy of Winter, and she also very kindly sent me some more bookmarks. So thank you, Marissa Meyer, for that. She totally didn't have to, but she's just so lovely, so she very kindly sent me that. The next book that I received for review was from Little Brown, and that's The Redemption of Callie and Caden by Jessica Sorensen. This is the sequel to The Coincidence of Callie and Caden, which I do have on my shelf but I haven't yet read. I've read The Secret of Ella and Micah and really loved it, so I've been really looking forward to reading The Coincidence of Callie and Caden. I can't even speak. Caden. And now that I have the second book, I will definitely be picking that up soon. And it's funny because I'm actually quoted in this book, which I was so excited for, and I didn't know that I was quoted until I watched Deborah at Deborah's Book Cafe, her latest haul video. I didn't know I was quoted in this. This book has been sitting on my shelf and I didn't know, so I'm quoted. I don't know where is the best place to see. So I'm quoted, and the quote is actually from my review of The Secret of Ella and Micah, and that quote appears in this book. It also appears in the first book, The Coincidence of Callie and Caden, and it's also in The Forever of Ella and Micah. So basically that quote is in 3 of the books, which I totally did not know. I only knew, like I said, after I saw Deborah's video. I then went and checked the other books, and that quote appears in 3 of them, so I was so excited. I had no idea that I'd been quoted, and it was absolutely fantastic, and the fact that it's in these books just completely blew my mind. And this one comes out on the 13th of February, so by the time this haul goes up it will have probably been out this week, so just love that. The next book that I received for review is also from Penguin actually, and it's An Arc of Half Bad by Sally Green. This is a really hyped up release in both the US and over here. It comes out the 3rd of March globally, and I was asked if I wanted a review copy and I said yes. And it's funny because Ryan at Ryan Reads Books has been dying to get his hands on this, and when I told him I had an arc, he totally flipped out, but he's receiving it for review as well. That's basically why I decided that I would want to read this, is because of how excited Ryan is to read it, and a few other people that I know. I'm not entirely sure what it's about, in all honesty. Yeah, it's something to do with witches, but I really like this tagline at the back of this arc, and it says, "Wanted by no one, hunted by everyone." I really like that, and it's definitely made me want to read it even more. The next book that I received for review was from Quirk, and it's Hollow City by Ransom Riggs, the sequel to Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Was really excited to read this. I liked Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It took me quite a long time to get into, but I did like the whole premise of it and where it went. I just found it quite long-winded. I really liked the photographs in it, and I love that we still get our creepy photographs in the sequel. So I don't know when I will pick this one up. I'm not one that's dying to read it. I will just get to it in my own time. But yeah, really pleased to have that. The next book that I received for review was from Bloomsbury, and that's A Breath of Frost by Alexandra Harvey. This is the first book in her new series. I haven't read her, I can't remember what her other series, the Drake Chronicles. I haven't read any of those. I tried reading the first one, didn't get into it. And this one came out on the 2nd of January. This is sort of like a paranormal YA book set around the Regency period, which definitely seems like it's more my thing. And this is the first book in a new trilogy, so I might check that one out. And it definitely appeals to me more than the Drake Chronicles. And then the last book that I received for review was from Random House, and I've actually already hauled this before, and it's Teardrop by Lauren Kate. And the reason they sent me another one is they ran a sort of competition for bloggers, and they said, tell us your favourite read of the year from Random House, and I replied. I said my favourite read of 2013 from Random House was Acid by Emma Pars, and basically what you won was a signed, if you won, was a signed copy of Teardrop, and I did. So it's signed there, which I think is totally awesome. I love it. And so I will be giving away my copy of Teardrop, probably to a friend, because she likes the same sort of books that I do. So yeah, I was totally surprised when that showed up. When I opened it, I was like, I've already got Teardrop, and I was like, oh my god, it's signed. So couldn't believe it. So thank you so much, Random House, for that. I appreciate it. So on to the books that I've bought myself. The first one you'll have already seen, because this was also in my January wrap up, and also I posted a review on it because I loved it so much, and that's Written in Red by Anne Bishop. I talk about this book all the time. You guys have to pick this up. You have to. It's amazing. Highly looking forward to the sequel that comes out next month. I also picked up L.A. Weatherly's new book, which is Soulmates. I was a little disappointed when this arrived. I was so excited that she was bringing out a new book, because I love Angel by her, and I hadn't heard anything about this, and I was like, oh my god, grabbing it, and it arrived, and it's so tiny. It's not even 100 pages, and I was a little bit disappointed by that. It's so tiny, just ridiculous. Next book that I bought was from a discount bookstore. I popped in and I was like, oh, I've heard a lot about that, I wanted to pick it up, and it's actually a classic, and that's The Monk, and this is by Matthew Lewis, and this was a Victorian bestseller. It's also mentioned in Persuasion by Jane Austen, because it's a gothic novel, and Catherine, the protagonist in, not Persuasion, Northanger Abbey, there we go, completely blanked out then. Northanger Abbey, she's obsessed with gothic romantic novels, and this was a big one at the time, and it's about the depravity and debauchery of a Spanish monk and his descent into madness and sin. It's one I've wanted to check out because it had such hype around it at the time that it was released, and it caused such a scandal. So it's one I've wanted to check out. So first classic bought of the year. The next one that I read is one I'm really excited to check out, and that's The Fairest of Them All by Carolyn Turgeon. I've not read anything by Carolyn Turgeon, but I know that Misty the Book Rat is a big fan, and you guys know I love my fairy tale retellings, my fairy tale-esque type books. So this is one I've wanted to check out. It's a retelling of Rapunzel, but the twist on it is that Rapunzel ends up as Snow White's stepmother, so it's kind of two retellings in one. I'm really excited for this one. It's not very big, but I've not read anything by Carolyn Turgeon. I've wanted to check out Mermaid, which you'll probably see in a haul in the near future, but I love this cover. It's so pretty. Love it. I want to check this one out quite soon. Whether that actually happens or not, I don't know, but that's one I really want to check out. Then another fairy tale retelling is one I actually had on pre-order. I was so excited for this, and that's Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge, and this is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. I love Beauty and the Beast so much. I read Of Beast and Beauty, which was another retelling. I read that last year and absolutely loved it. So if this is anything near as good, I'll be super, super excited. I've heard mixed things. Some people have loved it, some people have hated it, but it's combining Beauty and the Beast with Greek mythology. But I love this tagline. It's her mission was to kill him, her destiny was to love him. I just love that, and I love that it has a rose under the dust jacket. I just really, really love that, and I'm looking forward to checking it out and seeing what I think of it. This cover was a big draw because I love that it's a staircase, but then it makes the rose. See that? It's a really beautiful cover. Already know that's going to become one of my favourite covers. It's just beautiful. I then picked up some books in the supermarket because they were, reasonable. I picked up The Edge of Always by J.A. Rodmersky. This is the sequel to The Edge of Never. I read The Edge of Never last year. I didn't hate it, but it definitely wasn't one of my favourite new adult novels. And I've just read new adult novels that I've liked a lot more. It didn't live up to the hype for me. And HarperCollins actually sent me a bound like a galley, like a really rough arc, which I haven't read yet, but just because I find them quite difficult to read, so I haven't read it. So when I saw this was only £3.50 in the supermarket, I picked it up. I love the colour of the spine. It won't pick up true to colour, I don't think, but it's like a turquoise aqua. It's really pretty, and I did have the first book, so I thought I might as well pick up the second, just so they actually match, and then I can get rid of or pass on to someone else my bound rough arc of that. So yeah, I picked that up. And then I also picked up in the supermarket Fool's Gold by Philippa Gregory. This is the third book in the Order of Darkness novels. They've really changed the sort of cover. I like the cover. I like that it's this white with this ice blue. I quite like it. But I don't feel like it matches Changeling or Stormbringer very much. Like at first I didn't think it was part of that series, but then I saw the inside had the map, and I was like, oh, and I do have the first two books, so I thought I'd better pick it up while it was in the supermarket cheap. I hate that this sticker here, like, it doesn't come off. It's actually part of the cover, and it just says win your own gold, and it's like, really? Really? Why is that on there? Like, a competition is stuck right on the cover and you cannot take that off. I hate that. Genuinely hate that. But other than that, I do quite like the cover. And then the last book that I picked up in the supermarket was Night Film by Marisha Pessl. And I picked this one up. This is not normally something that I would pick up, but I know Charlie at Duvet Day Devours has this in hardback, and she got it a little while ago, and it intrigued me, and I was tempted to get it in hardback, but because it's sort of a book that is not in my comfort zone, I was a little bit reluctant. But when I saw it in the supermarket for £3.50, I picked it up. I'm really pissed off, actually, sorry for my language, but they stuck a sticker on it and I took it off, and it's like peeled the gloss off, and that's really irritated me. And then also another sticker there that won't come off, so I'm just really pissed off with this. But this sounds interesting. It's like a famous director, I think, an investigator sort of got burned. He was investigated, and then he slapped him with a lawsuit and sort of ruined his life. And then a few years later, this film director's daughter shows up dead in mysterious circumstances, and so he starts investigating him again. And it's kind of filled with peculiar, like, that picture there is just really creepy, like really, really creepy. So I'm actually quite looking forward to checking this out because it's out of my comfort zone and seeing what I think of it. The next two books that I picked up are part of the same series. I have Deity and Apollyon by Jennifer L. Armentrout. They are book 3 and 4 in her Covenant series. I haven't started reading the series yet, but now that I've got quite a few books in it, I think I only have one more book left to go, which is Sentinel. I'll probably start reading it soon because I just love Jennifer L. Armentrout. She's become one of my favourite authors. I just absolutely love her. And then the next book that I bought is The Bride Wore Size 12 by Meg Cabot. This is book 4 in her Heather Wells mystery series. It's an adult series. I've been waiting to buy this because I've been waiting for it to come out in the UK and like published in the UK, but it just hasn't. I don't know why. So this edition doesn't really match my others because it's a US floppy paperback. And I loved the series. The first one is Size 12 is Not Fat, and it's just so funny. Her heroines are always hilarious. But when the last one left off, she was engaged to Cooper, and I was like, come on, when am I gonna, read the next one, because I love Heather and Cooper together. And I was just like, come on, when are they gonna get married? And like, this came out in the US and it was quite expensive. I was like, I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting for the next one to be released here, and it never was. So in the end, I just went ahead and got it, and I think it was like, I want to say it was £7.50, which wasn't too bad. It's just really irritating me, like, when is the UK edition going to come out? But who knows, I have it now. The next one that I have was also a pre-order. I've been pre-ordering quite a lot of books lately, but this one came out on the 4th of February, and it's Prince of Shadows by Rachel Caine. Loving this cover, love it. This is the first book in a new series by her. It's kind of based around Romeo and Juliet, set in that time period, but instead of being sort of a retelling, it's focusing on Benvolio Montague, and he's basically he's known as the Prince of Shadows. He's a thief, and he falls in love with Rosaline. Sounds like it's going to be really, really awesome. It's a velvet buttery cover, I love it. But when I saw she had a new book out, I was like, yeah, I'll pre-order that. Again, this is one I've heard mixed things on, but I'm looking forward to checking it out. And if Dan, if you're watching this, if you get it, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it as well, because I know you're a Rachel Caine fan as well. And the last book that I got is yet another book that I pre-ordered, and that's Promise Bound by Anne Greenwood Brown. I think this is the final book in her Lies Beneath series. And I read Lies Beneath not last year, year before I think, and I really, really enjoyed it. I haven't read the sequel yet, but it was basically about a merman, and it was quite dark. It wasn't like The Little Mermaid. It was quite I mean, I'm talking about the Disney version, obviously. It wasn't quite like that. It was quite dark, but I'm looking forward to finishing up the series. I'm not sure if I like this cover very much, to be honest. I don't like it as much as the first one, but there we go. So that was everything, guys. If you've read any of these books or have wanted to check out any of these books, let me know down below, because I'm always interested to know. And thanks so much for watching, guys, and happy reading.